Have you ever noticed how some people in their 70s, 80s, even 90s in Japan move with such ease? Walking, bending, and stretching as if age barely slows them down? What's their secret? It's not expensive gyms or grueling workouts. It's a handful of gentle, mindful movements practiced every day. Movements that keep their bodies strong, flexible, and balanced well into later life. Today, I'm going to walk you through 6 of these simple Japanese-inspired exercises, designed especially for people over 60, so you can feel steadier on your feet, protect your joints, and keep enjoying the activities you love most. You know, there's something remarkable happening in Japan that researchers around the world are trying to understand. With tens of thousands of people living past 100, Japan has become a living laboratory for healthy aging. But here's what surprised scientists the most. It wasn't just their diet or genetics that kept them vibrant. When Harvard Medical School researchers spent years studying these superagers, they discovered something hiding in plain sight. These remarkable individuals practice simple, daily movements that Western doctors had initially dismissed as too basic to matter. But brain scans revealed something extraordinary. Japanese elders practicing these gentle movements showed significantly less cognitive decline than their Western counterparts. Their joints remained flexible decades longer. Their balance systems functioned like people 20 years younger. Stanford researchers called it one of the most overlooked aspects of longevity in modern medicine. Now, let's begin by understanding why these movements matter so much as we age. Think about your body like a classic car that served you well for decades. Without regular maintenance, even the finest automobile will develop rust, stiff joints, and unreliable systems. Your body works the same way. After 60, we naturally begin losing muscle mass, about 5 to 8% each decade. Our joints grow stiffer, our balance becomes less reliable, and simple movements we once took for granted can become challenging. But here's the wonderful truth. Japanese culture has known for generations. Movement is medicine. Not the kind you swallow, but the kind you live. These gentle daily practices work like oil in your body's machinery, keeping everything running smoothly. They prevent falls, maintain independence, and most importantly, they keep you feeling like yourself. The Japanese call this philosophy moving naturally every day, making gentle activity as regular as breathing. What makes this approach so special is its gentleness. You're not trying to become an athlete or compete with your younger self. Instead, you're honoring your body exactly as it is today, while gently encouraging it to stay strong, flexible, and confident. Research shows that even small amounts of regular, mindful movement can dramatically improve your quality of life, helping you garden with ease, play with grandchildren, travel comfortably, and cook without stiffness holding you back. Now that we know why this matters, let's dive into our first movement. I like to call this the Energy Awakener because it literally wakes up your entire body, preparing it for whatever the day might bring. Imagine you're a flower slowly opening to greet the morning sun. That's the spirit we're bringing to this gentle arm stretching practice. The Energy Awakener draws inspiration from the Japanese practice of radio calisthenics, where millions of people across Japan start their day with synchronized movements. But we're going to make it even gentler and more focused on what your body needs most. This movement is all about opening your chest, improving your breathing capacity, and boosting your energy naturally. Here's how to begin. Start by sitting in a comfortable chair with your feet flat on the floor, or stand with your feet shoulder width apart if that feels good to you. Let your arms rest naturally at your sides. Take a moment to notice how you're feeling right now. No judgment, just awareness. Now, imagine you're slowly reaching up to pick the most beautiful apple from a tree just above your head. Slowly raise both arms up and out to your sides, like you're drawing a gentle rainbow with your fingertips. Let your hands float upward until your arms are comfortably overhead. Don't force them higher than feels natural. As you lift your arms, take a deep, slow breath in through your nose. Feel your chest gently expanding, creating space for fresh air and energy to flow through your body. Now, just as slowly, lower your arms back to your sides while breathing out through your mouth with a soft ah sound. Imagine you're releasing any tension, any stiffness, any worries you might be carrying. This isn't just physical exercise, it's emotional release too. Repeat this gentle movement 5 to 8 times, moving only as fast as your breath allows. What's happening in your body right now is remarkable. You're improving circulation to your heart, lungs, and brain. You're gently stretching muscles that might have been tight from sleep or sitting. You're reminding your nervous system that movement can be peaceful and restorative, not stressful or demanding. Many people notice they feel more awake and optimistic after just a few minutes of this practice. The beauty of the Energy Awakener is its simplicity. You can do it first thing in the morning to start your day with intention, or anytime you feel stiff or low on energy. Some people love doing it while looking out a window at nature. Others prefer closing their eyes and focusing inward. There's no wrong way, only your way. After awakening the body, let's focus on balance, one of the keys to staying independent. This is where we encounter what I call the balance keeper, and it's probably the most important movement you'll learn today. Why? Because balance isn't just about not falling, though that's certainly crucial. Balance affects your confidence, your willingness to go places, your ability to enjoy life without fear. In Japan, doctors actually prescribe balance training like Western doctors prescribe medication. Patients over 60 are encouraged to practice single-leg standing for just 1 minute twice daily as preventive medicine. The results from studies following thousands of participants over many years are remarkable. Those who practice daily balance training experience dramatically fewer hip fractures and falls requiring hospitalization. But here's what makes this practice truly special. When you stand on one leg, your body makes thousands of tiny adjustments every minute to keep you upright. These micro adjustments strengthen not just your muscles, but your entire neuromuscular system. Your brain becomes more skilled at sensing where your body is in space, your inner ear sharpens its responses, and your visual processing speeds up. It's like giving your balance system a complete workout. Let's practice this together, but we're going to do it the safe, gentle way. Start by standing near a wall, sturdy chair, or kitchen counter, something you can lightly touch for support if needed. Think of this support as a good friend standing nearby, ready to help but not doing the work for you. Begin by simply standing on both feet, feeling grounded and stable. Notice how your weight is distributed. Now, shift a little more weight onto your right foot while keeping both feet on the ground. Feel how your right leg responds by becoming more engaged and stable. When you're ready, lift your left foot just an inch off the floor. Just an inch. This isn't about how high you can lift your foot, but how steady you can feel. Focus your eyes on a point about 10 feet away. Not down at your feet, but straight ahead. This helps your visual system contribute to your balance. Breathe normally and try to maintain this position for 15 to 30 seconds. If you start to wobble, that's perfectly normal and actually shows your balance system is working hard. Gently lower your foot, rest for a moment, then switch to the other leg. What's wonderful about this practice is how quickly you can progress. Most people notice improvements within just a few weeks. You might start by holding the position for 15 seconds and gradually work up to a full minute. Some people eventually progress to doing this while brushing their teeth, effectively getting 2 minutes of balance practice during an existing daily routine. The Balance Keeper creates an automatic habit loop that ensures consistency. Advanced practitioners sometimes add small challenges, slowly turning their head left and right, raising their arms overhead, or making small circles with the lifted foot. Each variation challenges different aspects of balance and coordination. The key is progressive improvement. When 30 seconds becomes easy, you can increase to 45 seconds, then try it with eyes closed for an added challenge. Research has shown something remarkable. Single leg standing time is actually a better predictor of healthy longevity than blood pressure or cholesterol levels. People over 60 who can stand on one leg for 30 seconds have mortality rates similar to people 10 years younger. That's the power of this simple practice. Once balance feels stronger, we'll focus on an area that often becomes one of the stiffest as we age, our hips. Think of your hips as the central hub of your body's movement system. When they're flexible and mobile, everything else works better. When they're tight and restricted, it affects how you walk, how you sit, even how your back feels. This is where we meet the hip opener, a gentle practice inspired by the Japanese understanding that mobility must be maintained through daily use. In traditional Japanese culture, people regularly sat on the floor, naturally maintaining hip flexibility throughout their lives. While we might not adopt floor sitting, we can certainly adopt the principle, gentle, regular movement to keep these crucial joints healthy. Your hips are beautifully complex joints, designed for an amazing range of motion. But modern life, with all its chairs, cars, and couches, can gradually reduce that range. The hip opener helps restore natural movement patterns while being completely gentle and accessible. You can do this sitting in a chair or standing, whichever feels more comfortable for you today. If you're sitting, start with your feet flat on the floor and your back supported by your chair. If standing, keep your feet about hip-width apart with a chair nearby for balance if needed. Place your hands on your hips, not your waist, but the bony parts of your pelvis just below your waist. This helps you feel the movement we're about to create. Now, imagine you're stirring a large, gentle pot of soup with your hips. Begin making slow, small circles with your pelvis. Start clockwise, moving only as far as feels comfortable. There's no need to make large movements. Small, controlled circles are much more beneficial than big, forced ones. Let your hips lead the movement while your shoulders and chest stay relatively still. After 5 or 6 circles in one direction, pause and reverse the movement. Now you're stirring that imaginary soup counterclockwise. Notice how this feels different than the first direction. One direction might feel easier or more natural. That's completely normal and gives you valuable information about where you might need a little extra attention. As you continue this gentle movement, breathe deeply and regularly. You might notice some areas feel tighter than others, or hear some gentle sounds from your joints. This is usually just your body releasing tension and creating space. However, if you feel any sharp pain, simply make your movement smaller or take a break. The hip opener is working on multiple levels simultaneously. You're improving the range of motion in your hip joints, which directly translates to easier walking, climbing stairs, and getting in and out of chairs. You're also loosening tight muscles that might be contributing to back discomfort. Many people find that after just a few minutes of hip circles, their walking stride feels longer and more confident. This movement also connects beautifully with the Japanese concept of flow, letting energy move freely through your body rather than getting stuck in areas of tension and tightness. When your hips move freely, that freedom radiates throughout your entire body, affecting your posture, your comfort, and even your mood. You can practice the hip opener anytime you've been sitting or standing still for a while. It's particularly wonderful first thing in the morning to counteract any stiffness from sleep, or in the evening to release tension from the day. Some people love doing it while waiting for the coffee to brew or during commercial breaks on television. The hips are intimately connected to the spine, so naturally, our next movement focuses on keeping your back supple and pain-free. This brings us to what I call the spine reviver, a practice that honors your spine's natural curves while gently encouraging flexibility and strength. Your spine is truly remarkable, 24 movable vertebrae that allow you to bend, twist, and reach in countless directions. But like any complex system, it needs regular, gentle movement to stay healthy. The spine reviver draws from Japanese wisdom about maintaining spinal health through mindful, breathing-centered movement rather than forceful stretching. Think of your spine as a gentle wave in the ocean. It has natural curves and rhythms, and our goal is to support and enhance those natural patterns, not fight against them. This movement is particularly beneficial because it addresses 2 of the most common spinal issues people face after 60: stiffness from prolonged sitting and the tendency to develop a forward head posture. We can practice the spine reviver either sitting in a supportive chair or standing with your feet comfortably apart. The key is starting from a position where you feel stable and grounded. If you're sitting, place both feet flat on the floor and rest your hands gently on your thighs. If standing, let your arms hang naturally at your sides. Begin by simply noticing your natural breathing rhythm. Don't try to change it yet. Just observe how your body naturally expands and contracts with each breath. Now, as you take your next slow breath in, imagine growing just a tiny bit taller. Let the crown of your head reach gently toward the ceiling while keeping your shoulders relaxed. As you breathe out, allow yourself to fold forward just slightly. We're talking about a very small movement here, perhaps leaning forward only a few inches. Think of it as bowing respectfully to honor your body and this moment. Keep your back naturally rounded. Don't force any dramatic bending. This isn't about touching your toes. It's about creating gentle movement through your entire spine. On your next breath in, slowly return to that tall, lengthened position. Feel each vertebra stacking gently on top of the one below it. Then, as you exhale, try a tiny backward lean, just enough to feel a gentle opening across your chest and the front of your body. Again, this is a small, controlled movement, not a dramatic arch. Continue this rhythmic movement for 5 to 8 breath cycles, always moving only as far as feels comfortable and controlled. You're not trying to increase your range of motion dramatically in one session, you're simply encouraging your spine to remember its natural flexibility. Many people find this movement incredibly soothing, almost meditative. What makes the Spine Reviver so effective is how it combines movement with mindful breathing. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your body's rest and repair mode, while gently stimulating circulation along your entire spine. You're also strengthening the deep muscles that support your spine, helping maintain good posture throughout your day. The beauty of this practice lies in its adaptability. On days when you feel stiffer, make smaller movements. When you feel more flexible, you might find your spine naturally wants to move a bit more. Always listen to your body's wisdom, rather than pushing for a particular result. Some people love adding gentle side-to-side movements as well, creating a figure 8 pattern that feels wonderfully fluid. The spine feels better when the legs are strong, so let's bring our attention down to the lower body with what I call the leg strengthener. This movement might be the most practical of all because it directly translates to activities you do every single day, getting out of chairs, climbing stairs, and maintaining your independence. In Japanese culture, there's a beautiful practice where people regularly transition between floor sitting and standing, maintaining leg strength naturally throughout their lives. While we adapt this for Western lifestyles, the principle remains the same, using functional movements that serve your daily life while building strength. Research has shown that the ability to rise from a seated position without using your hands is one of the strongest predictors of healthy aging. The leg strengthener focuses on your quadriceps, the large muscles at the front of your thighs, and your glutes, the powerful muscles in your buttocks. These muscle groups are essential for nearly every movement you make, from standing up to walking confidently. When they're strong, everything else becomes easier. When they're weak, simple tasks can become challenging or even dangerous. Let's start with the gentlest version, using a sturdy chair with arms if possible. Sit toward the front edge of your chair with your feet flat on the floor, about hip-width apart. Place your hands on the seat, chair arms or on your thighs, whatever feels most supportive. The key is setting yourself up for success rather than struggle. Now, imagine there's a string attached to the crown of your head, gently pulling you upward. As you breathe in, lean slightly forward from your hips, not your waist, and begin to rise. The movement should feel smooth and controlled, not rushed or forced. Use your hands for balance and support as needed, but try to let your legs do most of the work. Once you're standing, pause for a moment to appreciate what your body just accomplished. Feel your legs supporting you. Notice your balance. Take pride in your strength. Then, just as slowly and controlled, lower yourself back down to the chair. This lowering phase is just as important as the rising. It builds strength and control in a different way. Start with just 3 to 5 repetitions, focusing on quality over quantity. As this becomes easier over the coming weeks, you might find you can use your hands less for assistance, or you might add 1 or 2 more repetitions. Some people eventually progress to doing this movement without using their hands at all, which is wonderful but never required. For those who find the chair version challenging, you can start even gentler. Simply practice the motion of leaning forward and engaging your leg muscles without fully standing. Or use a higher chair or add a cushion to make the distance shorter. Remember, every body is different, and the goal is progress, not perfection. What's remarkable about this movement is how quickly you might notice improvements in your daily life. Climbing stairs may feel easier. Getting out of your car might require less effort. You may find yourself feeling more confident about going places because you trust your legs to support you reliably. The leg strengthener also has wonderful benefits beyond just physical strength. When you know you can easily get up and down from chairs, you're more likely to accept social invitations, try new activities, and maintain your independence. It's a movement that, quite literally, supports your freedom and confidence. Finally, we'll finish with a movement that ties everything together: mind, breath, and body. This is the flowing breath stretch, inspired by the Japanese understanding that true health comes from harmony between physical movement, mental calm, and spiritual centeredness. Think of this movement as a gentle dance with yourself, a way to integrate all the awakening, balancing, opening, reviving, and strengthening you've just done. It's both a cool down from the previous movements and a celebration of your body's amazing capabilities. Begin standing with your feet comfortably apart, or sitting tall in your chair if that's more suitable for you today. Let your arms hang naturally at your sides. Close your eyes for a moment and simply notice how your body feels right now after all these gentle movements. You might feel more relaxed, more energized, or simply more present in your body. Now, as you take a slow, deep breath in, gradually raise both arms out to your sides and overhead. But this time, add a gentle side bend. Imagine you're a tree swaying peacefully in a warm breeze. Lift your arms up and over to the right, creating a gentle curve along the left side of your body. Feel the stretch from your fingertips all the way down to your hip. As you exhale with that soft ah sound we practiced earlier, slowly bring your arms back through center and over to the left side, creating a gentle stretch along your right side. Move only as far as feels pleasant and never force the stretch. This is about creating space and flow, not about achieving any particular position. Continue this flowing side-to-side movement for several breath cycles, letting each movement be slightly different from the last. Sometimes you might bend a little more, sometimes less. Sometimes you might pause longer in the stretch, sometimes move through it more quickly. There's no wrong way, only your way in this moment. What makes the flowing breath stretch so special is how it combines multiple benefits into one beautiful practice. You're improving flexibility along your sides and spine, encouraging calm through coordinated breathing, and finishing your movement session with a sense of completion and peace. Many people find this movement helps them feel more centered and ready to face whatever their day might bring. This flowing practice also embodies the Japanese concept of ikigai, finding purpose and joy in simple, meaningful activities. By ending your movement practice with this gentle, meditative flow, you're not just exercising your body, you're nurturing your spirit and honoring the gift of movement at any age. Now that we've explored all 6 movements together, let's talk about how to use them in your daily life. The beauty of these Japanese-inspired practices is that they don't require a gym membership, special equipment, or even a large-time commitment. They're designed to integrate seamlessly into the life you're already living. Think little and often rather than long, intense workout sessions. 5 to 10 minutes each morning can set a positive tone for your entire day. Or perhaps you prefer evening practice to release tension and prepare for restful sleep. Some people love doing a few movements while their coffee brews, others during television commercial breaks. The key is consistency rather than duration. Research consistently shows that regular, moderate activity is far more beneficial than sporadic, intense exercise. Your body responds beautifully to gentle, daily encouragement rather than occasional dramatic efforts. Even on busy days, you might choose just 1 or 2 movements that feel most needed. Listen to your body's wisdom each day. Some mornings you might feel ready for all 6 movements. Other days perhaps just the energy awakener and balance keeper feel right. Your needs will change with the seasons, your energy levels, and your life circumstances. This flexibility is part of what makes this approach so sustainable and enjoyable. And of course, safety comes first in everything we do. These movements are designed to be gentle and accessible, but your body is unique, and what feels right for one person might not be appropriate for another. Always use support when you need it. Walls, chairs, or counters are your friends, not signs of weakness. Never push into pain. There's a difference between the gentle sensation of muscles working and the sharp warning of potential injury. Comfort and control matter much more than range of motion or number of repetitions. Start small and progress gradually, celebrating every improvement along the way. If you have specific health conditions, recent injuries, or take medications that affect balance, please check with your healthcare provider before beginning any new movement practice. They know your individual situation best and can offer personalized guidance. So, beyond just health benefits, what does this really mean for your life? These movements help with so much more than just physical fitness. They support your ability to garden with joy, play comfortably with grandchildren, travel without worry about mobility, and cook elaborate meals without your back complaining. But perhaps most importantly, they support your emotional well-being. There's profound confidence that comes from trusting your body, from knowing you can move through the world safely and independently. These movements help maintain not just your physical capabilities, but your sense of dignity, autonomy, and joy in living. It's not about adding years to your life, though these practices may well do that. It's about adding life to your years, ensuring that the time you have is filled with freedom, confidence, and the ability to pursue what brings you meaning and happiness. Let's quickly recap what we've learned today. We've explored 6 gentle Japanese-inspired movements that work together as a complete system for healthy aging. The Energy Awakener wakes up your body and improves circulation. The Balance Keeper builds stability and confidence. The Hip Opener maintains crucial mobility for comfortable movement. The Spine Reviver keeps your back supple and supports good posture. The Leg Strengthener builds the foundation and strength you need for independence. And the Flowing Breath Stretch integrates everything while promoting calm and centeredness. Together, these movements address strength, flexibility, balance, coordination, and emotional well-being. The core message is beautifully simple. Small, daily actions build long-term strength and flexibility. You don't need to transform your entire lifestyle overnight. You just need to begin, and then keep beginning, one gentle movement at a time. You've seen how simple movements can unlock energy, stability, and freedom at any age. Imagine yourself a year from now, walking taller, bending with ease, and enjoying the little moments without stiffness holding you back. That's the gift of consistency, and it's available to you starting today. If you're over 60, or even just thinking ahead, these movements are a gift you can give yourself every single day. I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 6 movements feels most useful for your life right now? Share in the comments, because your story might inspire someone else to start their own journey toward greater strength and flexibility. And if you found this helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe for more senior health tips. Don't forget to turn on the bell so you never miss out on practical advice for living your best life at any age. Together, we can keep building strength, flexibility, and joy through every season of life. Remember, your body has carried you faithfully through decades of life. These gentle movements are simply a way of saying thank you, of honoring that faithful service, and of ensuring that partnership continues with grace, strength, and joy for many years to come.